These ranged units are some of the best troops in both Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. The three of them have their own unique abilities and powers, and the Wizard Trio are so similar, but at the same time they are quite different from each other. So what happened to cause these three brothers to take on such different abilities? Here is the story of the three wizards. Before there was a village chief, before there was a barb king or even an archer queen, and before most troops were even added into the game, there was an almighty being that had control over the Clash of Clans village. This so-called ruler of the village was a fair ruler, and the rest of the villagers respected him. He was sort of a sorcerer that carried around a staff and a spellbook with him at all times. In battles, he was extremely selfless and tended to provide his army with an aura that kept them alive for longer. Overall, he was an irreplaceable asset and also a well-respected ruler. The Warden, as he liked to call himself, was about to test the strengths of his new powers by performing the most difficult spell ever attempted. He was trying to transform an object into a living person, something that only the strongest magical being could successfully do. He decided to try it on a gem, because that was the most valuable object in the village, and if he was successful, this new being could be almost as powerful as him, if done correctly. So the Warden places the gem on the ground and then stands back and casts the spell. A beam of light shoots out of his staff and travels straight towards the gem. Once the light hits the gem, it reflects through the gem just like a crystal, and from the gem emerges three smaller beams of light. The first beam of light hits the fire at the nearby army camp, the second beam hits a hidden Tesla, and the third travels straight towards the spell factory and hits a bottle of freeze spell. All three objects begin to smoke and transform into human-looking forms. Then, once the transformations finished, three mini wardens were standing in front of him. One wore a red cloak and for some reason had a giant afro. Another had a light blue jacket and snow white hair. The last wore a dark blue jacket and looked sort of crazy. The power from the beam of light must have been weakened when it split into three, then forging into whatever object it hit, resulting in three versions of the Warden. The Warden was glad that his spell worked, but he also didn't know what to do with these new troops. The Warden was also curious if his powers transferred over to his kids, so he asked them, "So, do you guys have any sorts of powers?" Then each of the mini wardens shot out a spell out of their fingertips. The red one shot a fireball, the blue one shot a deadly snowball, and the dark blue one shot straight electricity. The Grand Warden was actually really impressed, and was thinking that him and his three new wizards are going to destroy so many bases together when they attack. Just like one big happy family. They all came in for a big group hug, but once they touched, the ground started shaking, and then it got more and more violent. Spell bottles started breaking, troops started screaming, and buildings started crumbling. The wizards and warden immediately backed up, and then everything stopped shaking. They looked around and they could see their entire village in ruins. Everything has been destroyed. The warden conspires that their combined power is too great, and if all their power is in one spot, it can cause great damage to the people and things around them. So he suggests that they should all split up. He then says that he will volunteer to leave since his power was the strongest, and it wouldn't be fair to have three people leave when one person could just leave. So the Grand Warden packs his stuff and goes on his way. Together, the three wizards weren't powerful enough to cause any more earthquakes, but they still had the power to cast spells and the like. One day, the Red Wizard was walking through the village and he came across an old book. He opened it up and he then realized what it was. It was the Grand Warden's spellbook. He took it back to show the Ice Wizard and the Electro Wizard what he found, but before he could tell them, he found a note from the Ice Wizard sitting on the floor. It said, "I am sorry, but I need to leave. The weather is too warm here and I don't know how much more of it I can take. I am going to the Clash Royale arena where I heard that they have a new snow arena called Frozen Peak. P.S. Electro Wizard is tagging along with me. I don't know why, but he's sort of crazy and I don't want to ask. P.P.S. I'll come back to visit sometime around Christmas for about a week." So the wizard put down the note and continued reading the Grand Warden's book. And over time, he learned lots of things from it. He was able to brew new spells for the village and potions to upgrade other troops' attacks and health. He also later became one of the favorite troops in the village, and then one day, 4 years later, the Grand Warden came back, when word had finally gotten to him that the Ice Wizard and Electro Wizard had left. Now he was here to stay for good, and especially because there was a new defense that had just been created by the builder, called the Eagle Artillery, and the village was going to need all the help they could get taking that down. Thank you guys so much for watching my story on the 3 wizards. I really hope you guys did enjoy that, and let's go ahead and see if we can hit today's like goal of 2,500 likes. You guys have been absolutely crushing the like goal on the last few videos, so let's go ahead and see if we can smash this one as well. Also, I'm currently doing a collaboration with 2 other YouTubers who are really great at doing little animations. So I've got some new videos coming out like that, where one will be on the Lava Hound, the other one will be on the 2 witches, the Night Witch and then the regular witch. It takes a long time to animate these, so I'm not sure how long it'll be. It might be a week, it might be a few weeks. We'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be like a mini Clash-O-Rama little series, and hopefully you guys are going to really enjoy it. I think it's going to be great. The editors and then the animators on the other end are really great, and the story's pretty interesting as well. So that's pretty cool. And then if you guys haven't already, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any future videos or stories. And then also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos and you can watch them as soon as possible. I'm always in the comment section responding to all the first few comments. Usually I'm there for like 15 or 30 minutes and I'll respond to every comment that I can. So if you want to talk with me or anything like that, make sure you are early, and you can do that by clicking the bell next to the subscribe button. But anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate it, and Happy Holidays for the rest of you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.